regardless, Tomato gets that bounty rune and sets them up pretty well.
Laning into the Dawnbreaker and the Rubik, so a little bit of damage reduction there from the Fade Bolt can be a nuisance when you have multiple units like this, be it with the Ench or just with the Lone Druid, but also starting with the Blightstone here on Dubu. So whenever you're in like a pressuring lane as a support, you're playing your Hoodwinks or your Enchantresses, you love getting this Blightstone because it adds so much damage to every right click. This into Rubik, right? Not sitting on the highest armor, I think, as a hero, so that's why these trades are looking great here from Dubu.
True. Dubu taking that healing first. We'll be able to do a ton of trading early on. And in the meantime, you can already see up top Tiny trying to go and connect. Hyde pulls the wave himself. This is something that we've seen happen more and more often here. And it will end up turning into a bit of a side off-lane thing going on where they're not actually in the lane at all.
It's just a mess.
It really is.
Look how many Radiant creeps are here, too. This means that the Dire units are going to get their level 2 slower, and they're in danger, right?
They push back there. And Timber Chain off to the side. They do eventually reconnect now underneath the tower. And, dude, what is happening?
It's like every range creep is, or every Radiant creep is still alive right now.
Can they do anything else? Really doesn't look like it. We'll see if anything special happens there, but for now at least. Yeah, just a bit of a mess up top.
There's no like huge jumper now because Jabs already has like the point of the Timber Chain and the reactive armor, so it's not like he's gonna get like a whirling death and they can like dive on the Hyde or something. And DJ's still level 1 because he's spacing a bit on some of the levels. So.
Oh, Jabs, you drew aggro. What are you doing, dude?
That's alright. He's coming this way anyway. It's fine.
Oh my God, there's another creep just running off.
Well, as you said, he intentionally body blocked the hard camp with it though too, right? So the Chen's not gonna get any units either.
Yeah, Chen already has the range creep himself.
Oh, and Jabs is just going to make it in time here, too.
Yeah, so that one connects over,
Beautiful.
able to pull the other two.
Oops, got a couple in the tower, though. Yeah, there you go. Get him out of there.
That'll be easy.
Meanwhile, Hyde is killing a courier.
Dude, there's some weird stuff going on. And then you can see up on the top side as well, they're keeping the other lane going. So 23 Savage battling against DJ, who actually has like pretty good last hitting potential here against the Faceless Void because of the tree.
Yeah, you do not need items for this, that's for sure, as a support Tiny.
Jeez. Thinking about it, deny. Does he manage to get it? Not quite, but now he can pull the next wave. Won't quite manage to get the deny, or rather get the last hit onto that creep. Low armor. DJ.
Imagine there was penitence here.
And yeah, they got to pull it back underneath the tower. It's just like, you need to take a break for a second.
But Jabs again is sitting in the camp at 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like he blocked it again. This is so annoying because there's no counter for that, right? And they were pulling the wave through as well. So they actually had the lane creeps blocking the camp, so the small camp didn't spawn.
Right.
So this Chen, I was just like, all right, I'm going to run over. And, there is some mana burn creeps up there in the jungle, though, at the very least.
Right.
So once he gets himself to level 2 in the Holy Persuasion, he'll at least grab that. And until then, he could take a Banisher if he wants.
Right.
And in fact, Faceless Void just pinged it, I believe.
Yeah, and has that that ward up there on the high ground, so that way you can scout it out, pull it from the low ground if you need to as well. But other lanes, some stuff's going on. It's a farm fest mid, as you would anticipate. Coddle and Batrider, not really wanting to do that much more besides just trying to spam out the camp, as Makoto's been doing when he can.
There's really nothing to do in this lane.
Yeah.
Makoto, though, of course, we talked about how he already has a pretty good matchup versus the 2 side laner cores, right? The Timbersaw and the Lone Druid. So that'll be his goal, trying to accelerate here. And when Coddle hits the jungle, when you were studying the neutrals, I was killing the heroes. Okay, so we'll see.
Meanwhile, down bottom, the other one, Dawnbreaker so far 11-2, and hasn't really been able to come and contest the Lone Druid that well, it feels like. It's Tomato, kind of just been able to AFK farm a bit, Ench with a little bit of access to the jungle over there.
Yeah, it's actually pretty tough, right, because of the Savage War.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's exactly, because when you're playing Dawnbreaker, you're expected to be getting kills in lane, right? Especially around like level 2 and level 3, but having this instant way to stop this combination from the Dawnbreaker. Like, KB didn't actually get into the Starbreaker. He didn't even have a chance, though, because of how fast they tried to go for a double stun, which was pretty cool, by telekinesing into the bear, and then maybe they could hit the Starbreaker, but didn't really sync up with the AoE damage that he was trying to ensure he was getting the most value out of with the Celestial Hammer. So It's obviously still pushing back. Tomato's great. They're going to pull back again, and now...
Oh, the heal creep!
Beautiful.
It's not enough.
No. That's abusing that Savage Roar cooldown, right? That's what it's all about. You got to go at least once, force the interrupt, and then go again. That's a 38-second cooldown on level 1. So very good punish from KP and Zephyr.
That's the first blood as well. So good chunk of gold going their direction. And as the levels go up, that's only going to become more and more difficult. I mean, I sort of have been struggling to find a lane that Dawnbreaker doesn't just absolutely wreck with. And there aren't many of them. But regardless, Tomato comes back in again, has the resummon on the bear, and they're going to start throwing out the chain lightning creeps.
This is our solution.
Yeah.
We'll just zap.
Over and over. Yeah, keep KP a little bit down so that way they don't have to worry too much about anything else coming afterwards. Hyde taking some damage from DJ, and Jabs in the meantime, not really that concerned. They don't have another time walk. Chase, under, finds him, punch, one more. It's all they need, and they get it. Jabs takes down 23 Savage, and they can keep this pressure now onto Hyde. I don't know if he can stop
They're
this.
glyphing here to go under. Forces the glyph out from Hyde there, too. And he's just running in circles.
Yeah, waiting eventually gets the tower high five. But keeping that catapult alive for a very long time. Another creep wave is even going to come back in for a sec. So some amount of damage onto that tier 1. More importantly, the kill on the carry.
In the meantime, DJ will take a moment to go and seal their bounty rune there, so that'll be something lost for Makoto, who does have a haste rune, and I'm sure is thinking about coming top to try and help out 23 Savage, because 23 Savage really wants a Midas. Doesn't want to invest in lane things like boots or regen.
No.
You know, those are cowardly items for fools.
Exactly. Well, I mean, Phantom Midas, you want to try and stay out, right? That's a little cowardly to me. The Mask of Madness out there. No? Okay.
Well, I'm just watching here because I see what DJ's up to.
He's searching, hunting.
The creeps found him, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's got to get out of there. They were trying to keep that catapult alive. They had the seed shot creep over in the area also. Yeah, taking a look at that net worth, though, you can see that this is what the Coddle does. Just, they pull the wave all the way over to the hard camp so we can farm it with the same Illuminate stacks. That is very, very nice.
And as expected, oh, hey, take a look at this. They're going to come up to the high ground here. Dubu doesn't want to pop the haste rune because they're still in a chance, so just going to slowly walk down Dubu. And the friends are not coming.
No. Enchant finally is there, but it won't matter.
Rotation up top there as well, though. Maybe. 20 Savage getting kind of low, but the catapult scouts out Bryle.
Yeah.
A little unexpected. So what is this doing here?
I mean, that's kind of the problem, right? You can see, though, also the sort of respect that we're getting from 23 Savage for the potential
Makoto.
danger.
He wants him to Timber Chain to 23 Savage. 23 Savage is trying to bait Timber Chain right now.
Does have 3 points up in the jump, too.
He's like, please, Timber Chain me, please, please. They can't get it.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Jab's playing too safe. And Makoto, he's going to TP back now. There's a whole wave those push into his tower, and actually with the Enchanted Creep, they're going to get some good damage there. Abba, toss, Tomato, his bear is low, KP turns. They actually regen it back up, and they just find the kill. Dawnbreaker goes down.
That Ench Creep also did punch the tower all the way down to the point where Makoto had to deny it.
Big plays. Jabs, level 6. Hand of Midas just now completed. All he wants to do is find a place to use it.
Hand of Midas should give you golden high fives.
I like that.
Yeah,
that sounds really good.
That would have been a great moment for it.
Dead again. This is the strength of Coddle. You start to play it together with the Tiny, have the tossbacks, and that is a big old stack. Oh, Makoto, he can't let this happen. Oh my god.
I don't think he has much of a choice. He's surrounded right now.
Yeah, just gonna go for it. Solar Bind, Avalanche, Toss. They have Illuminate. They're saving it right now, and forced to use this. KP gonna move on in with the ulti as Tomato finally shows up afterwards. Will they be able to do anything else? Doesn't look like it.
Man, Makoto played that so well. He had the vision on the pillar that whole time, so he saw that Bryle didn't have the Illuminate. So that's why he goes in at that moment. So I was like, this looks a little suicidal, but everything was on CD. And then having the confidence of KP coming through as well for the Solar Guardian sort of lets them get away with that maneuver there. But in the end, they still grab a lot of those last hits at the side of Fnatic and take away that safety in this area where Talon just kind of want to have a little bit of free farm at the moment.
Right. Yeah. Buy that time. Get into the triangle.
They
finish
see him
it.
again too. There's a ward past those ancients.
KB. Bringing him low. Tries to hammer out. Blinding light pushback. Ryle won't go for any more. It's just going to be another Illuminate Blast.
They are just focused on that tower. Right until the glyph comes out, they're just saying, all right, well, this is what we're going to go for instead. I feel like I have not seen our friend Hyde in a while here, and that's because he's doing what every Chen does at this point in the game. He is just farming up his mech.
Right? Yeah, no boots, no problem. Has the wand working after. And you can see it there. Already take that top tier 2 tower, so bottom is another opportunity. As Makoto and 23 Savage going to go onto Jabs. Can they bring him down? Goes for the TP out. Doesn't have a way to bring it. And they couldn't get there in time with the Hurl Boulder.
23 Savage is not a believer, I guess, huh? In the bash, you know, he didn't even try with the bounce back. Nah, I wouldn't have hit it.
I mean,
did he bash the next creep he wanted to last hit? We'll never know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
That's a rough one, man. Okay.
Honestly, he probably still lives if he bashes him there.
Fnatic is looking really good, but Talon kind of struggling to get anything together right now. And you can see how far forward they're playing.
Oh, toss back.
Finds one.
He didn't have a good target. No, it's just vertical.
Solarbind runaway, but Jab shows up, finds Hyde. There's the Chakram stolen. Will it be enough to dissuade Jabs from going any further forward? Back out, turns, stuns, good damage. KP got him. So they finally went a bit too far forward as Bryle, trying to buy a little bit of time there with the blinding light pushback, does actually kill off the Chen in the root. Tomato shows up, Bearman angry, and they take down 2 for Jabs. Bryle still looking for Makoto, although I'm not sure if they can really do that. Instead, it's just going to be trying to take out the Ancients
Just a
now.
big step. I mean, the double granite golems makes this really hard. They are big, beefy Ancients right now.
It's definitely a bit of a weird one.
I feel like someone, who stacked this? Like, who wants to farm this right now? I have a minus on Faceless Void.
Listen,
all,
Rubik has Chakram.
It's just bad all the way down, you know? Everything from my Makoto. And, well, they're going to need it, because right now there is a Keeper of the Light who is completely out of control, and not only is he hitting creeps, he is everywhere all over the map right now, as they get Hyde again.
Hyde, they jump in from KP, try to connect onto DJ, goes through the Starbreaker.
Nice.
Blinding light pushback, but it's still going to be a dead Tiny. Talon playing very close together here and making the moves in with KP on that Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, pretty unusual to see a toss-back Chen survive, but rallying around him with the mech, with the Dawnbreaker coming through. You saw that humongous, like, way up in the sky, Solar Guardian as well.
Yeah, that was a cool one. No, it's still, I mean, slightly Fnatic favored in terms of net worth, but the big thing is going to be watching how these next couple of fights unfold, it feels like. And I guess Talon, to some extent, trying to buy time?
At least to a point where 23 Savage feels like he can do a bit more, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get into that Maelstrom especially. But they have some great vision here, as you can see right there, walking over some wards through the tree line. Going to see these rotations coming through with Hyde and all the creeps. Meanwhile, you know, you've had Dubu running through the dire jungle up top, planting some wards. He's sort of being like the front face because he's such an annoying hero to try and take down right off the bat, and then that's giving some space for Jabs to catch up. Meanwhile, way back in the Ancients, Tomato is farming up into those first few items, right? Mask of Madness, go back for the Maelstrom afterward, and then you imagine they're going to start sieging that top tower at some point.
Right.
Meanwhile, it's 13 minutes. So guys, when you're playing Earthshaker or Tiny, position 4, when the 13-minute mark hits and you see an empty lane, you go. This is the time where every Tiny wants to take a little bit of space for themselves. You got to be greedy, okay? You can see he's playing a bit scared. He's like, I'm not sure if someone's ganking him down here, but you really need to get that Blink Dagger to enable this hero. And your team has to make space for that too.
Good lift, able to interrupt. Stolen Timber Chain. Chakram out. Jabs able to get a little bit of an escape, but as you can see, when they bring everybody, it's enough.
Yeah, and this is one of the parts about Dota that's very hard to gauge. Because the question is, like, how worth it is that? Yeah. Right, we bring 4 heroes all the way over here, and we get the kill on this Timber Saw. Now, mind you, they didn't actually have to use the Lasso, which is pretty huge, or the Chrono. So I think at this point, you wouldn't mind going for another gank at this point, right, as Talon. Particularly if you get a bit of vision and some intel into that raiding side of the map. Unfortunately, they're having a hard time getting out there. They don't really see anything.
No, there is, well, and now they're going to get a smoke down. will potentially find a target, or they can get some wards up. But as you said, like DJ, he kind of just wants to chill a little bit too. It's the smoke into farm jungle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rarely seen.
Often successful though. The creeps, you know, they never see it coming.
You can get them going.
I've seen a Phantom Assassin, you know, they just blur on those ancients.
That's true.
They got no idea what's happening. They're just falling apart out of nowhere.
I mean, that is the thing that's weird about it, is that in a lot of ways, Fnatic's draft feels very like single-minded of, you know, playing together, winning fights, taking objectives as much as they possibly can. But there's a couple of these moments where it hasn't really been able to pull it all together yet.
I think they're just not quite there is the only issue. They just really want that that blink dagger. But up top there, you saw the boots of travel come in from Brawl. They grabbed a quick kill into KP. Question is, can they get the chase down after?
Dubu burning, starting to spam Illuminate, has the stomp, menacing hide.
Nice.
But they won't be able to find anything after the Ench, but a nice kill there by Talon.
Again, not using those big ultis, so.
Right. I mean, but did end up losing the Dawnbreaker, which is the other big part of that.
Yeah, still a bad trade, especially when, even though Bryle's TPing up for that engagement, he's instantly back to farming the neutrals, going back through, meeting back up with Tomato here. So checking on his farm. Yeah, oh, I can shocker your bear for sure, bud.
Jabs pushes out top. Wait for those items. KP goes and DJ. Toss out, but KP finishes.
Yeah, he was there for so long, but they actually had a ward down here, spotting any movement outside of the lane. So kind of leaves him his freedom. And Zephyr had come down earlier and stolen that avalanche too. So definitely going to smoke again here, I would think, right? Because you have Lasso. They can even bring the Void if they wanted to, but I'd be happy with this. So we smoke up. We have Avalanche, Talon. Gonna hunt for one of those bigger targets. I would love them to go straight for the Radiant Ancients. But again, they are blind. They put that ward down bottom that spotted DJ. That's what they went. They hunted. They'll be running up into a high ground without any knowledge right now. And yeah, they just lost it because Bryle's behind them. Hello.
This game is so weird.
Okay, so I
don't know what is happening.
I was in Talon's vision, and I had no idea where that coddle came from. I was like, wait, what?
This game is very bizarre.
He just walked into that. Well, he has that deep ward still by the Dire tier 2, and I think it just kind of gave him a false sense of confidence. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's the most valuable hero on the map, and we're in rush now?
Yeah, and I mean, you would imagine they want to come over and fight this a little bit, but they also have Chrono. They've got Lasso. Or no, Lasso. They just used that, but still, a chance here.
Still have Avalanche here, too.
Jabs, moves forward. Dubu pops the heal, wants to move in closer, gets the Yule Scepter off. They can't quite get the full combo, but there's the Chrono onto everybody. So trying to bring them down one by one. Makoto gonna get tossed away. Tomato walks into the pit. Everybody from Talon's walking away. Are they gonna just finish this off?
It's a low rush.
Dude, what is happening in this game? Dubu, they get the push away, fear out, avalanche, toss, big combo coming out, and with the coddle damage starting to be ramped up. But 23 Savage, he's found him. Lift over to the side, they find a kill on him. Bryle, they just all ran in and died, Trent. They just all ran in and died. Oh man, Talon, they played that pretty freaking well and tries to jump in to finish off DJ, but can't quite get there.
It's a bit messy sometimes in the game of Dota 2 that we know and love, and they don't really have the coordinated items right now for Fnatic. They're very good when they're like smoking up and they're getting in there and everyone's at the same time, but they sort of got picked apart piece by piece. You know, Jab's getting taken down by the Chrono, and then you have this flames just everywhere from Makoto there. And despite losing out on the Chrono and the Lasso, it didn't matter too much when they just keep running into this Dawnbreaker and the Chen heals. Even though the Spear Vessel was out on Hyde, he still managed to get back up to the high ground and keep the additional heals for the team there and keep them up and active and turning back onto Fnatic. Yeah, I thought Bryle was going to come through and really blast them there in the end.
It just didn't end up happening. And now Talon suddenly up 3,000 gold. I mean, that is the thing that's very strange about this, right? Is that you're in this situation now where you have this like clear idea of how Fnatic want to take their draft, and with the Blink Dagger on Tiny, they're probably in a much better position to do that now. But likewise, Talon just got the Aegis, and they, I think, have really good scaling lineup too, at least to some respect.
Yeah, a couple things didn't click just perfectly. Oh, Makoto. Gonna get Tomato here.
He's like, where's that coming from? And the move in, will it be enough though? The stomp comes out, the Starbreaker, Tomato dead. Great. Suddenly, a hammer right on his face.
Yeah, it's so excellent when like your 2 buys BKB, your 1 has the Aegis, and you've got room control. right?
Yeah.
They're just so strong. You get haste runes, DD runes, or in this case an invis rune. It's just a great way to enable your mid laner, and then you have the defensive capabilities of the Aegis just for your core at the same time. You've bought an item of BKB to protect your mid laner, and it gives them a lot more confidence moving on the map, whereas Fnatic just barely missed their window. They just needed those wards to survive a little bit longer on Dire's side and to have farmed up that blink on DJ, and this whole game could be different. They missed the toss back, unfortunately, there for DJ.
Yeah, Makoto is going to live through that solar bind. 23 Savage now walking in. Has the Aegis, no fear, also no mana though. Not sure if it's going to matter. DJ drops pretty low as, again, battles ensue across the river, and Talon, they find two.
I love that early shard as well from 23 Savage. Great use of it right there.
4,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. I mean, it's been a struggle for Talon throughout this group stage, but they came to play here. And, I mean, this is the time if there ever was one.
I credit a lot of this to the amount of kills that they got without burning Chrono and Lasso in the early game. Like, I always felt like they had some sort of a threat where it wasn't necessarily free for Fnatic to come in and just grab stuff. Also protecting their tier 2 towers, even though there was a bit of a lead early on here for Fnatic in terms of like the strength that they had these moments. And now suddenly this game just feels so much in Talon's command.
Well, and it started, I mean, again, you don't want to harp on it too much, but Bryle just walking suddenly into 3 heroes.
Sometimes it feels like you own more of the map than you do.
I guess that's fair, yeah. Regardless.
It was also like the first time they ever went in the river. And they caught like the legendary fish.
Exactly.
You know, he was this big and this much gold.
Speaking of fish, I don't know how that transition works, but they do find the stun now on its Tomato, but have they gone too far? Have a toss up on the high ground. They burned through the Aegis, but now DJ has clipped himself. Makoto trying to clean up. A godlike Bat Rider as Jabs hoping to escape, but they do manage to catch him. Zephyr rolling through both sides of it. Steals Enchant's going to enchant the Enchantress for an enchanting death. The pushback onto Bryle. The game has wildly fallen off the rails.
Yeehaw!
As Talon take down 5.
That was a Texas barbecue right there is what that was from Makoto. Firefly everywhere, people burning up on the high ground, can't do anything. Great use of the Aegis as well. I mean, what more can you ask for? Catching a fight on the Radiant side of the map and into an entire wipe, and they, what? That's it, right? They only lost Aegis, no other deaths.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I don't know.
They're close to some of the stuff, right? They picked up the Deso before that fight as well in Tomato, but not able to get that big damage. Currently, he's actually bearless at the moment, and there is still a lasso here from Makoto. The toss back, they can easily grab him, but the Savage Roar does stop the lasso. It's not going to stop the kill, though.
Man. And he does go down. I mean, it is kind of wild. You get down to the wire, and, you know, for Fnatic, this match means a lot. Getting into the upper bracket is huge. But it feels very discombobulated from what we've seen from them before. And haven't really been able to recover and get their feet back under them over the past couple of minutes. Dubu, focused by KP, killed off 12k gold lead. And they do finally have a BKB on Bryle. More ways to try and keep things afloat, but
unfortunately, he's still a hero that doesn't do very much versus BKBs when they're out here now on a Bat Rider and a Dawnbreaker.
23 Savage also getting towards that BKB as you're talking about it.
It comes back to these games where you watch the Tiny look so successful, and you go back and you appreciate these crazy toss plays, because we know DJ is a wonderful player. But he just hasn't hit any of this game.
No.
Right? When they started these plays in the early game, they're going through and he's just getting like the straight up vertical tosses. When they do get a good toss back though, they actually have great defensive options. This happened the last time we talked about all these positioning abilities in one of our other games where you've got the pudge hook, you've got the toss back, you've got even just lasso grabbing and yanking someone with you. Some of the best ways to offer a counter to that is by having this Dawnbreaker with the global heal ability and the Chen. Also, global heal ability. And it's been working out great. We've seen Warlock do similar things as well, with the ability to counter that, just because you have this crazy range of like stomp power with the Golem. And you know, when you combo the heals together with Dawn and Chen, it's working out great.
They can keep up this momentum because they have full map control at this point. And if you can spot DJ right at the start, or instead go for the edge, that might have been an attempt at Tomato. I think it was, but nonetheless, it will kill off Dubu.
We call that the option select.
Okay, gotcha.
I watched some Evo. That's right. I'm getting there.
It's a little bit of a misclick maybe, but, you know, get the job done. And a smoke afterwards. Fnatic say, we don't need Orange. We'll fight you without her.
Well, Hyde, I think Hyde had a read on that one, huh?
It's the other one.
With the ward on the high ground, and he's just like, yeah, well, guys, I think they're smoking. I got it.
I'll take this one, don't worry. Kodo, solar bound, but illusion rune popped, and suddenly not as much of an issue.
All right, to get back into this game, though, as Fnatic, what are the keys here? I would love to find a way to try and enable this lone druid to actually get out the damage, because we've seen this happen in games, particularly we saw in an EG game, I believe, where they really struggled to get any damage out from the bear. Was that EG?
I think so. No, it was Liquid.
It was Liquid, of course. It was Matu. Matu struggled in his game for the Tidehunter because his bear just could never hit anything. There was like too much AoE damage, just like stunning the bear. Sometimes it goes the other way too, where you can't really lock anyone down in place to just let the bear kind of wail away. And well, there's no BKB on this bear right now, so when you're dealing with things like just a simple Starbreaker and these telekinesis, stomps from the Chen, like it's hard for the bear to just sit there and actually hit stuff that's not a tower. And he's a big source of their damage right now, particularly when the BKBs are up. So the question is, how can you actually enable that to happen? And I don't really have a great answer for you, I'm not gonna lie. It is very difficult. He basically just needs to hit a good route and have the rest of the team spacing the opponents away to the point where they're not getting saved.
Yeah, in a way, it almost feels like you can't rely upon that, and that they need Bryle to be the one that's really lifting that heavy load in terms of damage. And then the bear is just there to like take objectives afterwards or whatever. Because, like you said, there's just so much little things that are kind of a problem.
And instead, they have one play, which is nuking these creep waves, and you can see what Talon's doing. They're wrapping around him behind, they're trying to catch his call when he does this. And then on the other side, you see Dubu just drawing straight lines down mid and lines down top, just like, push the waves.
Go in.
Get the creeps going, and then try and hold the high ground, right?
Yeah.
Push the waves all the way in, hold a high ground, see if we can get like a cheeky little gank, and then run away. Makoto gonna spot Tomato's bear here. Spots DJ as well. Fake grenade here. Oh, DJ's poking. He's turning.
Vision. Pushing him around everywhere, and 23 Savage Fear comes out. They don't want to go
I don't think
and allow the chrono. That's a good point.
Tower is under attack.
Through Savage. Does he chase? Jumps forward. BKB used.
He thinks about it.
Pump fake into the actual chrono use. Afterwards, Solar Guardian coming down, stunned, Tomato living through it. Is it going to be enough, though? He's got a lot of HP. The bear is living, but eventually Makoto going to clean up. Jabs, can he do a second round of it? Good stun. Interrupting there onto Jabs. While the Chakram's been going the whole time from that stolen Rubik. Hand of God, the turn, trying to kill Makoto, but an Avalanche also stolen now. Zephyr thinks about throwing it out. Can't quite get the connection there. Makoto trying to TP away. Does manage to, but KP just absolutely wrecking throughout all of this.
Is he just quietly killing everyone in this fight?
I'm pretty sure that's what's been going on.
They're trying to take down 23 Savage. They manage to get him. They're trying to take down Makoto. He TP's out, but KP's just swinging with this hammer. Yeah, that looks about right. 5,300 damage from the Dawnbreaker in that fight.
God, and yeah, you can see just completely left alone.
3 Starbreakers and 2 Celestial Hammers. So at 36 seconds of Dawnbreaker freedom. Yeah, there's one. Yeah, and jumping on through there and burning.
It was a nice play there by Makoto also to catch on to Tomato before he was able to get out of that. But complete freedom, like you said.
It's just like the lack of BKBs too for a Dawnbreaker. Like even that, like the hammer's like burning Bryle over on the side.
Yeah.
Everyone's just getting caught with these hammers the whole time when she's spinning and winning.
Too much damage, and back into the fight of the real world again. There was a little bit more action, but they weren't able to connect onto anybody.
Yeah, and we did see as well that he had the Mage Slayer for that fight too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like you can't necessarily see it in action a lot of the time, but it's going to be reducing a lot of the spell damage that's coming out there, particularly against heroes like Timbersaw. Like you never know just how much you really reduce in those instances.
No chrono, but skin connecting. DJ moving forward. 23 Savage finishing the Roach, getting the Aegis. Meanwhile, the rest of the fight's going still pretty good for Talon. They don't have buyback on the Chen as Tomato get punched a few more times. Zephyr trying to chase, keeping the Timbersaw out of the fight. Tomato continues to get chased, and they just call GG. They're done.
His bear died. His spirit died as well.
There was no way left.
Spirit. That's what they call it that.
There you go. Man, I gotta say, probably the weirdest game that I've watched the entire tournament. Those like early 10, 15-minute mark, like everything just felt so discombobulated the entire time.
For both sides, or?
Well, yeah, for Fnatic, much more so, I felt like.
I think Fnatic were very close to making it work. Like, they had some great map position where I feel like you could, like, kind of take an overview of everything and see, like, okay, you know, like, DJ's